Hi everyone, it's Delaney and I'm back with another art project. This week we're going to be making construction paper hot air balloons, and in the end they'll look something a little like this. You can hang them around. So the materials you're going to need are construction paper. You can have however many colors you like, 1 to 4. You'll also need some scissors, glue stick, tape, and some string, and a pencil. So gather all your materials and we'll get started. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need are some pieces of construction paper. You can choose whatever colors you like. You can choose from 1 to 4. I have 2 colors here, pink and yellow, but you can choose whichever ones you want. And then you'll also need either black or brown for the little piece underneath. The other things you'll need are scissors, a glue stick. You'll also need a pencil, some tape, and some string. You don't need a lot of string. I have this little roll here, but you only need a little bit. So our first step is going to be to take our pieces of paper and folding them so that we can trace and cut out the shape of the balloon. So what we're going to do, holding it long ways with the long edge on top, you're going to fold it down the center so that it's in 2 long rectangles. So just folding it down the center. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but try to get it as close as you can. Line up the edges and then fold down the center. And then once you have that, you'll see it's now cut in half. And now you're going to fold it in half again, this time with the shortest edge on top, and you're just going to bring that together and fold it like that. So again, line up the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as close as you can, and then fold that together like so. And you're going to do this with however many different colors that you have. It could be just one other like I have. You may need to only do it once, but you'll need at least once to do this. So now that I've got the pink one folded, I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow one, and I'm just going to speed that up very quickly. You can pause if you need more time, or just go ahead and skip to the next step. Okay, and now that you have your pieces of paper folded, you're going to take one of them, and you're going to do this with each piece of paper that you have, and you're going to hold it with the folded edge at the bottom, the one folded edge at the bottom, and you're going to draw half of a balloon shape on one side, and you want to draw it on the side where you have the 2 folded edges. So on one side you have all the ends, so you should have 4 little pieces, and then on the side where there's just 2, the 2 folded edges, you're going to draw your half of balloon shape. So just take your pencil and then draw the shape of the half of the balloon, and you're going to do this on each of your paper. So you're seeing that I'm just drawing the balloon shape, which is like a big oval, and then it comes down to almost like a little rectangle at the bottom, but it's all connected. So you can see I've got that right there. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this shape out. Now what you can do, you can either draw it again on your second piece of paper, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it out first with the scissors and then trace it onto the second piece. So very carefully, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut out this shape. Okay, and now that that's cut out, you can see that I have 2 of these half shapes, and if I unfold them, it now makes a complete hot air balloon shape. But I'm going to keep them folded for now, and what I'm going to do to make this easier and to make sure all my pieces are the same size, I'm going to hold my second piece of paper, hold it the same way with the folded edge on one side and the double folded edge on the other. I'm going to take it and trace the shape that I just cut out, so that they're all the same size and they'll all fit together very nicely. Okay, and now that that's traced, I'm going to take my scissors and cut this shape out as well. Okay, and now that that's together, I've got my two yellow hot air balloon shapes, and I'm going to put them with my pink ones so that I have four shapes in total. So I've got my four shapes here, two pink and two yellow. And now what we're going to do, we're going to glue them together. So I'm going to unfold one of the yellow ones, and I'm going to use this middle fold line as a guide, and I'm going to take my glue stick and glue down two of the pink pieces on either side with the folded edges in the center. So I'm going to take one of these pink pieces and I'm going to put one on one side of the yellow piece and the other right on the other side with the folded edges in the center. So you'll see I'm going to hold this up to the camera. One of the pink pieces is going to go on top of the yellow, and the other pink is going to go on top of the other side of the yellow. And we do this so that the colors are alternating when we unfold it. So I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue down these two pieces. Okay, and now that those are glued down, you'll see this is what it looks like. You'll have all the open edges at the side so that if you unfold it, you'll see the two pink sides and the one yellow. And now what we're going to do, we're going to take our last yellow piece, unfold it, and then paste it right on top of the two pink ones. So again, just going to take my glue stick, put some glue on the two pink sides, and then put the yellow piece right on top so that they're completely covered. Okay, and once that's glued down, you can fold it. You should have two little flaps that you can fold. And if you fold it so that you have two almost intersecting ways, you'll see that you have a nice hot air balloon 3D shape and it alternates between the two colors. Or you might have four separate colors depending on how many colors you chose. So our next part is going to be adding a little basket underneath the hot air balloon. And we're going to do this by taking a strip of paper and then making a little circle that you can attach with some string. So what you're going to do, you're going to cut a strip of either brown or black paper, or another color if you like. It doesn't have to be too thick. So just cut a small strip, kind of like this, and you can trim it if you need it to be evened out, but that's up to you. And then once you do that, you're just going to wrap it around so that it creates a little circle that is about the same size of the bottom of the balloon. So you're just going to take it and then wrap it around so that it creates a little cylinder that you can just kind of place right underneath the balloon so it looks about the same size. And if you need to, you can cut the paper shorter because it might be a little basket, so it doesn't have to be that long of the paper. And then once you find a good size for your basket, you just want to take your glue stick and then put glue on one end and paste it together. So as you can see, I'm just taking my glue stick, putting glue on one side and one end of my paper strip, and I'm going to wrap it around to create the right size basket. And this might be a little difficult if you want to use two hands, making sure it's the right size. If you need to, you can make a little pencil mark and use that as a guide for your gluing. But once you have that all done, it should look something a little like this, and it'll go right underneath your balloon. And now what we're going to do, we're going to get some string and attach this with some tape. Tape is easier to attach to string than glue, but feel free to use glue if that's easier for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of string first. It doesn't have to be that much. You can cut more than you need and then just trim it down later. But you're going to get 2 small pieces of string. They should be relatively the same size. And then you're going to attach them to 2 opposite sides of your little basket and then bring them up and tape them to the balloon. So as you can see, I'm just bringing some tape here to one end of the string. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on one end, attach it to one side of the balloon. It doesn't have to be that much. And then I'm going to attach the other end to one side of the inside of the basket. So it should come together at one point. So as you can see, just taking a little bit of tape, attaching it to the string, and then putting it on the inside of the basket. And I'm going to do this with the second string, put a little bit of tape, put it on the inside of the basket, and then attach it to the balloon. Alright, so I've got the strings attached to my basket there, and now I'm just going to take some tape and attach it to the bottom of the balloon. And that's just going to take 2 small pieces of tape on either side. What you want to do, you want to put tape on the same color or on the 2 opposite sides. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape, put it on one end of the string, and then attach one end to the bottom of the pink side of the balloon, or the yellow. And then on the other string, I'm going to match it with the same color. So just a little bit of tape, put it on the end of the string, and then put it at the very bottom of that side as well. And now you can see if I unfold the balloon, the basket stays nicely attached and it hangs so that it looks like a hot air balloon. And now you could stop here if you want. You can take some markers or colored pencils and decorate the balloon, but what I'm going to show you how to make a little string loop, which is very similar to how we attach the basket, so that you can hang it up places. So again, you just want to take maybe a bit of a larger piece of string, but it doesn't have to be too long. And once you get the length that you like, you're going to take one end of the string, use a little bit of tape, and then attach it to one side of the balloon. So I'm just taking a little bit of tape, attaching it to the very end, just like we did with the basket, and then putting it on, instead of the bottom, now the very top of the balloon, just like this. And since I used the yellow side, I'm going to use the yellow side for the other end of the string as well. So again, just a little bit of tape, taking one end of the string and then attaching it to the very top of the balloon. And since this is all one piece of string, it should create a nice loop at the top that you can use to hang the balloon wherever you like. And once that's attached, you can unfold your balloon again so that it has a nice 3D shape. And now you're ready to hang your balloon anywhere, and you have a completed hot air balloon project. Alright, and we're done. As you can see, this is how mine turned out. I made mine pink and yellow, but yours may look different depending on the colors you chose. Now you can hang it up as a nice decoration around your house for the springtime. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and feel free to rewind the video if you need to rewatch steps, and be sure to post a picture of your finished hot air balloons to the art folder because I'm really interested to see how yours turned out. So I'll see you next time with another project. Bye!